So today I am going to show you how to make a clear mask for the deaf and hard of hearing. My daughter, Paisley, she is in preschool and she is deaf, so she has a hard time understanding people when they have a fabric mask on. So I decided that since masks are required now in schools for teachers, that I will show you how I made the clear mask for Paisley's teacher. So the materials that you're going to need is some bias tape. I just used what I had on hand and it happened to be pink. So bias tape is basically fabric and it's already folded for you, so it's really easy to use. So that's what you're going to need: bias tape. You're going to need elastic of some sort. I already had this elastic. I will link where I got this on Amazon. So it's a spool of elastic. I'm not sure how hard it is to find elastic right now, but I cut each strip into 9.5 inches for each side. So basically, I started out and I cut my PVC. You can get this on Amazon or Hobby Lobby. It does come in different thicknesses. This is like a medium weight, so it's not too thin, but it's not too thick. So it holds its shape very well. This does not hug my nose or my mouth. And it does leave the top open so air can get down in. I will show you in a photo how it looks. But I cut the PVC plastic. I cut it 5 inches by 7 inches. You can adjust this. I know some patterns that I've seen for fabric calls for 6 by 9, which I found that to be too big for my face. But if you have a larger face, or if you're making this for a man, 6 by 9 would probably work for you. But I used 5 by 7. And what I did is I went ahead and I pleated my plastic so it will bend and it won't stick straight to your face. So I went ahead and I pleated each side, just 2 pleats, and I sewed them on each side. And then I will show you how I attach the bias tape. And you're just going to put the center of the bias tape, you're going to fold each side onto the clear plastic PVC. So you're going to have it looking like this. It's going to be in the center. Make sure you get it lined up pretty evenly. It can be a little difficult to feed through your machine. But once you get started, it goes pretty quickly. And on the corners, I'm just going to, when I sewed it flat on that side, I'm going to open it back up and I'm going to fold that back into the bias tape. So my corner is going to look like this. There you have it. I sewed it all the way around the bias tape, and at the very end I folded it under so you wouldn't get the frayed edges. And then now I'm going to show you how I attach the ear loops to it. Okay, so now that I'm finished with this, I'm going to show you how I attach the ear loops. So I found the easiest way to do it is to cut a little tiny slit on each side. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that here. So they're really tiny holes and you can barely see them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little turnout tool. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but it has this tiny little, if you can see it, little hook on, as long as I don't drop it, tiny little hook on the end. And so I'm going to pull my elastic through here. So I'm going to stick it through first. I'm going to go down the side and find the other hole. Like this. So it's going to look like that. I'm going to take my elastic, loop it through there, hold it, and then pull it through. So we're going to pull it through the other side. We're going to take one end, straighten it out. So you're going to have what looks like this. And on the ends, I'm just going to tie it into a knot. Try to get as close to the edges as you can, but without breaking it. Clip off the excess, and then we're going to feed that knot back through that little hole so it's hidden inside. And it might be a little tricky to do, but be careful, don't rip your material. Well, this one's a little tricky. I think it got caught on the plastic. There we go. And we're going to pull it in. And so it loops like that. And so I'm going to go ahead and do the other end, and I will show you the finished product. Here you have the finished product. We have the ear loops on both sides. The knots are hidden inside. And then you have your pleats in your mask, so you can stretch this out. I'm doing this one-handed. And to put on over your nose and your mouth. This does not touch my nose or mouth, so it does get pretty good airflow through, and it's quite comfortable. To prevent fogging, I do recommend washing in like Dawn and then letting it air dry. It does help a lot with the fog. You can also use these anti-fog wipes that are for glasses. You could try wiping the inside of the plastic with that as well. I will link that in the description below in case you want to look at any of the materials that I used today. But I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully this will help benefit you for your deaf and hard of hearing family and friends, and for your teachers.